What's going on, everybody? My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is episode 174 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. The date today is Monday, December the 12th, 2022, 6:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an all Q&A tonight. Whatever you want to talk about, let's sit back, relax, have some eggnog, light that fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! We are live, episode 174. 174. What do you want to chat about tonight? Let's do it. Grab that eggnog. Grab that vodka.
Grab that blunt.
Grab that blunt. And let's chat. Let's see who rolls on in.
They're not talking Halloween! Don't bother!
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all right.
Should turn your video off just in case.
Oh, yeah. I'll turn, not for...
Even though it's already happened, but...
there we go. Okay, there we go. Good idea. All right, so, what's going on, man? What's happening? What's shaking? What's doing?
Another week, another shit show.
Another week, another shit show. Yeah, we thought we'd just chill, relax.
No, not the show. No, I meant in life in general.
Are you fucking kidding? This show is shit. This show is dog shit. No.
Another week, another shit show.
Another week, another shit show. Have you done your Christmas shopping?
Shit, no.
No.
We don't really do that anymore. I mean, yeah, I may, they might do something for her, but as far as like parents and I don't really do much. I'm not going to see my brothers. Well, I might see my brother, but I'm not going to see my sister. I think she's going to be in the Bahamas for Christmas with her new dude. And so, yeah, we're in our 40s now.
I know.
What I mean, like, so
when you get into your 40s and if you're not married and you have no kids, it's kind of like, have you done your gift card shopping yet?
Right. So, I mean, but because there's a girl in an equation this year, that might be a little bit different. So,
yes. Yeah.
Therefore, my shopping isn't really like extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I hear you. It's hard to believe that 2022 is coming to an end. We are near the end of 2022. This is crazy. What movies are you looking forward to next year? Or have you been paying attention to what's kind of coming out next year?
Well, I know Scream comes out in March.
Yeah, Scream 6.
Jason curious to see what
Ghostface takes Montreal.
Takes Manhattan, right? Curious to see how they deliver on the new location without Neve Campbell. I'm being optimistic about it. You know what I mean? Because again, she really wasn't in the last Scream, and they did a good. They transitioned these characters very well with this new group of kids. So let's see what happens. What else is coming out next year? I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just did a video yesterday where I was talking about that. You got at the end of the year, you got Blumhouse and David Gordon Green's The Exorcist sequel.
Definitely not looking forward to that because I have zero expectations now.
I am always trying to be the eternal optimist, so I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess. But Insidious Chapter 5, I think, comes out next year. I'm really only a fan of that first Insidious. I don't mind 2. 3, actually, 3 wasn't that bad, which was weird because I thought 3 was going to be a shit show, but it was directed by Lee Winnell, who's sort of, James Wan's right-hand man, and he directed The Invisible Man and all that kind of stuff. He's a very competent director in his own right. I never saw Insidious 4. I just didn't, at that point, I was already checked out. But Insidious 5, it's actually Patrick Wilson's directorial debut.
No, you know what? That's not true. I shouldn't say I'm not. Grizzly Bear. They're Cocaine Bear. I'm looking forward to that.
Cocaine,
I really am.
I think you and I should do a first watch on this channel.
I agree. I am very looking forward to that batshit crazy movie.
Let's do it.
Because it just looks so ridiculous.
We have to do a first time watch.
We got it.
Neither of us have seen it. Because that's a movie you don't. I mean, that's a movie.
That's a traditional popcorn movie. Have fun. Do not take it serious.
First time watch right here on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit next year.
We're gonna do that. That's in February, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to, I can't say I'm looking forward, I'm curious about Insidious 5 because it's Patrick Wilson's directorial debut. I think he's coming back playing the, the role that he played in the first two movies. And I think Rose Byrne is coming back too. So, you know, I'm curious about it. But how many, fifth installments in horror franchises can we name that are great? you know what I mean? Not too many. So the probability is low that Insidious Chapter 5 will be anything good. But you know what? There, can always hope, I guess. Of course, I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, so I'm looking forward to that
that's right.
one.
That comes out next year.
Yeah, June 30th.
I feel like there's something else that I know is coming out, and I'm just not thinking of it off the top of my head.
Like a big one, you mean? Like a big temple kind of?
Isn't Deadpool 3 coming out next year with Wolverine?
I don't know if it's coming out next year. I think it might start shooting next year, maybe.
Next year, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe for 2024. Right. I'm not sure. Is
there another Halloween movie coming out?
God, I hope not. He said Halloween!
Oh, wait, whoa. Camp Crystal Lake. Isn't that coming out next year?
Yeah, that's not a movie. It's a series. But yes, I believe the Crystal Lake series will come out next year. Probably, I'm guessing they're going to start, like they're in pre-production right now. So I'm guessing that or at least development.
That's a spring shoot, probably.
A spring shoot for a fall release.
Fall release.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Peacock in like October, September, makes sense that you would do that at that time.
Stranger Things is not doing anything next year, right? No way. We got like 10 more years before they do
Stranger Things is,
10 years.
I think Stranger Things is hoping to shoot next year, but maybe for like a 2024 release or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cobra Kai is doing the same thing. I think they're shooting next year. Maybe releasing at the end of the year, which would make sense, or 2024 release. I thought they were going to try to time it around when the original came out, which was, which is coming up on its 40th anniversary in 2000, right? 24. Yeah, 84. Right. So that would be 4. So I don't know. I thought they were going to wait. But see, Cobra Kai is really good at keeping the momentum going. They don't like to delay shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Stranger Things, we'll be fucking collecting our retirement by the time season 5 comes out.
Mike Wheeler will be 65 when
the
whole thing's done. Yeah, there's lots of, there's always those movies, like I said in my video yesterday, that you don't know are coming out. Like once you get into the year, there'll be like a trailer you'll watch and you'll be like, oh fuck, what the hell is this movie? It looks fantastic. You know what I mean? So there's always those surprise movies that end up coming out and whatnot. But I have to admit, I'm kind of, and I know this is not, but Dave, it's gonna be one of those things. But I actually am looking forward to the break from Halloween because there's lots of other things to talk about. There's lots. We can always talk about Halloween on the channel, of course, but there's nothing new to talk about. And it's kind of nice to shift gears a bit and talk some Jason Voorhees or talk some Freddy Krueger or talk some Ghostface or whatever. There's or a horror movie that we watch and we're like, wow, that's really good. And
Dave, I want to know what you think. What loafers Donald Pleasant should have worn in the original Halloween, so he could have chased down Michael.
Okay,
you could literally probably do a 90-minute video just on that. And people would tune in.
I'm planning on doing a 4-hour live stream on the loafers that Dr. Loomis should have worn in the original Halloween. Did you know what's crazy though? This is what's so crazy.
You get like 9 million views and people would debate.
But this is what I absolutely love about this community, is that people would watch.
They would.
and they
absolutely
tune in. Listen, do you remember like 5 months ago, I put a 13-second video on my channel, okay? And the thumbnail was the Halloween 4 Michael Myers mask, okay? So it wasn't even, one of the good ones. And the text was something like 600 Michael Myers grunts, or, top 600 Michael Myers grunts. And I wasn't being serious at all, right? It's only the video is only 13 seconds long, and it's just me going, hey, I'm just messing with you, folks. I'm just messing with you. Could you imagine? And then the video just ends. That video has nearly 5,000 views, and it's 13 seconds long. That means 5,000 people essentially were like, oh, top 600 grunts? I'm in. I'm like,
let's
what?
do it.
What is going on with these people? What's happening? That video has nearly 5,000 views, and it's 600 grunts. Now, to be fair, I think there's a good portion of the people that probably saw that it was only 13 seconds long and was like, what the hell is this? And maybe they're just tuning in to kind of, but it's just so funny. And I love the sense of humor of some of our
Dude, you could do a video and title it, Did Michael Fart in Halloween? And
yes.
People would tune in.
Yes.
Just to hear your opinion on whether or not Michael passed gas in Halloween or not.
For sure. J Beach 12078 says, is Dave making fun of us? I am. I'm making fun of all of us. I'm including us in there. Hey, listen, I'm the one that does the content. I'm the one that talks about. I'm making fun of all of us. It's all in good fun. If we can't poke fun at ourselves, then what the heck, right? You know what I mean? I'm included in that crazy Halloween fandom, right? I'm in there with you. I'm right there with you. But yeah, it is funny how there that you could do the simplest thing, and people, it's such a passionate fan base. It's crazy, but like in the in a positive way. I mean, it's crazy. I think, would you say that Halloween fans are like the Star Wars fans of horror? Would you say that?
They can,
really passionate, and they can be very, very mean too, and unforgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it because I don't get it, but yeah, I would say so because I know, like, the Star Wars channels out there, Star Wars Theories, and a few others who they just talk about this shit all the time, and I give that dude credit because he does get creative with the content he does and whatnot, and just in the comment section, all these different what if scenarios, like. I mean, it's cool and all, but even Halloween fans do that as well too. Like they'll get into like all these like what ifs. For my own sanity, I can't. I love the character, I love the movies, but like I can't do it all the time. Like for me, I can't do it all.
Yeah.
It just like it. Like I get like Michael. I'm so Halloweened out right now. Like I even told her, I said, whatever you do, I don't want to talk Halloween.
I get you. Well, and I think
movies and stuff, and I'm just like, no.
I think what viewers have to understand, if you have a YouTube channel and you talk about Halloween, like, again, we're not complaining about it. It's I sprung onto the scene here talking about it. It's part of the identity of my channel. I love Halloween. Sure. I love talking about it. Tony loves, Halloween. We love you guys and, talking about it with you guys and all sorts of scenarios and situations. Absolutely. But I think when you're on this side of the camera and you are, doing, there's got to be over 5 or 6 or maybe even 700 videos on my channel where we're talking about Halloween, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. But I think when you are on this side of the camera and you are the anchor, you are the on-camera talent, you are the performer, right? I think it can wear on you more than it does maybe the viewer, because we are, quote unquote, covering it, right? So
when you just get to a point where like, oh, we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want that.
That's right. And there's a lot of stuff. And again, I've received a lot of messages from really passionate Halloween fans that try to do their best to extend, that coverage. And yes, of course I'm busting everybody's balls, but it's all in good fun. I'm being silly. I'm not being serious about it. Because there are some people that have asked me, Dave, could you do a top, and I'm being serious, could you do a top 10 Dr. Loomis, guns or, his shoelaces, and it's like, what, and they're dead serious, and they're dead serious,
but it's funny.
But it's kind of cute in a way, because it's like they're so passionate and they love it so much that they just want anything Halloween all the time, right? And I think if I was on the other side of the camera, as you are too, if you were too, if we were on the other side consuming it and just watching it and not covering it and talking about it and exerting this level of, energy talking about it, then I think that's different, right? I think when you are a consumer on the other side and you're watching TV and you're tuning into your favorite shows and hosts, it's a bit different. I think maybe getting tired of a topic or exhausting all of that probably doesn't happen as much as it does if you are the host of something, right? And
that's why I give credit to people who still stay with it, and like that takes a kind of commitment that you're in it and you're committed, and I respect people who like the Star Wars theory, and there's a few Halloween content creators that stick with it, and I give them credit.
For sure. I think for me, and I know Tony feels the same way, and we can only speak for ourselves, but it's very important that it's and there's a few videos on my channel that I would not say are quality, but I always try to be quality over quantity. And I think if we're just talking Halloween just to get views and clicks, then it's going to show, because what can we talk about that we haven't already talked about? And if you follow me for any length of time, you know that I've repeated myself more times on this channel than, I don't know, so it's one of those things where we love Halloween. We think it's great. We can talk some Halloween today too. Like, this is not us saying that you can't ask any Halloween questions, by the way. It's just, how one conversation leads to another. And I think it's because I actually got a message today from somebody, and I sent it to Tony, and it's difficult to know if this person was being satirical or not. They may have been, or they may have been dead serious. It's hard to know, but they were inquiring why I haven't talked Halloween lately, and that I should get back to talking about Halloween, or they're going to unfollow me and unsubscribe. Now, you can sit there and think, oh, they're just farting around. But when you've been doing this as long as Tony and I have, maybe, maybe not.
No, because there are people out there who just, they can't get enough of it. And it's just like, well, what the fuck are we going to talk about? There's no new movie. There's no new content to talk about. I mean, like,
yeah, it's
what?
Really important. Like it's
what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's important to be able to, be inspired about something that's exciting and new. And if we can figure out a really cool, like, that's why we came up with that, film noir 1950s Halloween thing, was because we were searching for something that was new, but still Halloween. And we actually were able to do it. But in terms of talking about the current franchise, and just all the movies and all I don't know what there is to talk about anymore that we haven't already talked about.
We can do another rankings video, because that seems to always, I swear to God, there's YouTubers, like, if you go to their channel, they've got like ranking the Halloween films. They got like 5 of them.
Well,
like,
I actually want to rank.
How many times do you need to make ranking the Halloween videos?
Can we rank top 10 Dr. Loomis stances? Top 10 Dr. Loomis stances, so the way he stands.
Standing.
Yeah. And again, folks, we're just busting some balls. Listen, I'm the guy on here that talks Halloween nonstop. So, I include me in this as well, because, I love Halloween just as much as you do, okay? Because I say that because, there's somebody out there that's going to take what we're saying a little too close to heart, like it's personal, and it's not that way at all. It's not that way at all.
Go see your shrink.
Yeah.
Go talk it out.
All right, let's, and again, if you have a Halloween question today, you're more than welcome to ask it, of course. You're more than welcome to ask it. We're just talking about
Dave will be happy to answer.
And Cody Snyder sends in $8. Thanks, Cody, and says, here comes the money. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that. And then Simon Mills sends in 10 pounds and says, hey, guys, let's start off Scream 2. 25th anniversary with your thoughts, memories of the film. Also, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, Dave. It's not a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
Christmas movie in my house.
my thoughts on Scream 2. I talked about this yesterday, actually, and I'm not a big Scream fan. So when I say that I'm not a big Scream fan, that's not me saying that I don't like Scream. It's just me saying that I really like that first movie. I do like the first Scream movie a lot. But and I like 2 and I like 4 and I like 3 the least. But for me, it just kind of feels like that's why I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with 6. And maybe it'll be the injection of adrenaline that the series needs. Because right now I just feel that a lot of these, it feels derivative, it's like we're back to Woodsboro. It's new, and you could say that about like the first 4, Friday the 13th as well. I just, I don't know. I think it's because the kind of Scream movie that Scream was, it's that spoofy sort of self-aware kind of thing. And the first Scream was the perfect example of it. And I think just 2, 3, and 4, I'm not saying they're bad films. I'm just saying that they're just lesser versions of what that first Scream was, in my opinion. And so Scream 2, I think I saw Scream 2 in the theater when it came out in 97. And but I still like the first one the best. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the first one and Scream 4. I don't get around to watching Scream 2 or I really don't watch Scream 3. Scream 2 is it's a mood. I have to really be in the mood to watch it. I haven't really given myself enough time with the new one. Although I did enjoy it. I'll probably watch it again here shortly before the new one comes out in March. But my main 2 that I go to in that franchise are the first one and the fourth one. The rest, I'm just like, it's just like,
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah, people here are saying, Dave, it is a Christmas movie. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Well, like I said on the Slaughtered Lamb the other day, look,
if it's a Christmas movie for you like it is for me, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, right? And here's the thing with Die Hard, right? So it's fun to call it a Christmas movie because and I think the reason why it's fun to call it a Christmas movie is because you actually can have the debate. Like nobody's going to debate whether Home Alone's a Christmas movie or not. Right? No one's going to debate whether, One Magic Christmas is a Christmas movie or The Santa Claus or, Ernest Saves Christmas. I mean, because they're clearly Christmas movies and there's reasons for that. Die Hard, there's wiggle room, right? You can actually have that debate. And like for Darren over on the Slaughtered Lamb, it's a Christmas movie for him. And my question is always, I think when you ask the question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? You have to follow that up with, well, what are we measuring? Right? What's the litmus test for what a Christmas movie is? If the litmus test is, okay, for me, a Christmas movie is just a movie that takes place at Christmas time. Okay, check for Die Hard. It's got a lot of Christmassy things in it, like music and, all that kind of stuff. Well, check for Die Hard. You got the Christmas party, you got the Christmas music, you got ho, ho, ho. Now I have, a machine gun and the Santa hat and, all that kind of stuff. Well, then Die Hard's a Christmas movie. But for me, a Christmas movie is when the story, the actual narrative itself, the story is about Christmas. And it usually is about, usually not all the time, but our main protagonists, our main characters, they have an arc, right? Because of the season, because of the time of year, they learn about being selfless and not selfish. And they learn about giving and, instead of receiving, and they learn about love and friendship and all that kind of stuff. It sounds very, sappy, but through the narrative, right? Like through Home Alone, Kevin in Home Alone, I should say, he learns that. He learns how to be selfless and not selfish and all that kind of stuff. And it's because of it's the Christmas season that allows these characters, whether it's Ginny in One Magic Christmas or, what have you, right? She doesn't believe in Christmas. She doesn't even say Merry Christmas. She hates Christmas, hates it. And because of this traumatic event that happens to her in the season and Santa Claus and all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? That's what a Christmas movie is for me. And I know that people like to point to the family dynamic in Die Hard, but Holly and John McClane would have got together anyway, even if it was March 5th, because Holly and John McClane didn't reconcile and get back together because it was Christmas. They got back together because John McClane saved everybody's life. You know what I mean? And I think if Die Hard had happened in March, she still would have got back together with him. But if it's a Christmas movie to you, because it's got the Christmas things in it, you used to watch it at, Christmas time and you feel it, and then it's a Christmas movie, right?
Every year, every December 25th.
That's it. That's 100% right. But
hey, speaking of holiday movies that are really good, that takes place on a holiday that I just watched the other day. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was like this, glued, like, holy shit, this is a good fucking movie. It takes place on Thanksgiving, but it's not a Thanksgiving movie. It's not older, but it's been out for a few years, but it just came available on Netflix. The movie's called Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Holy shit.
You've never seen that movie?
First time I ever saw it.
Dude, it's fucking fantastic. Dude, that's directed by Denis Villeneuve.
So fucking good. I was
so good.
Damn, this is really fucking good. And every time shit kept happening, I was like, what the fuck?
Yes, 2013 that movie came out.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't know how. That was just one of those movies that just somehow I didn't know about, and as I saw it, it was trending on Netflix. I'm like, all right, it's trending. And it's got Jake Gyllenhaal and it's got Hugh Jackman. And I'm like, all right, I like Jake. And wow, I was like,
it's fantastic.
From the opening beat to the end, I was just like, and I'm like, does he save him? You know what I mean? The ending is so left open, because you hear the whistle, and I mean, not a spoiler because for a movie that's been out for a decade. But you hear the whistle, you see Jake look, I'm like, does he save him or does he leave him?
I know it does. You don't know. Or does he even hear it? Right?
I know, right?
No, that's a great movie. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who's a Canadian director. He directed Blade Runner 2049. He directed Arrival. He directed Dune. He's directing Dune Part 2 right now. He's a great director. French Canadian.
Such a good man. We need more movies like that. I don't know why we don't get more shit like that. We do. That's such a great thriller.
We should watch that on the channel.
We should fucking watch that.
Fucking great
what's another good thriller we should watch on here that I like a lot? I watch it every November for some reason. It just became a tradition. With Paul Walker, Joyride.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good movie. 2001, I think, or somewhere around there. That's a good movie.
What does the truck driver say in there?
I
forget what the truck driver says now. Fuck. Can't remember, but that would be a good one to do. Yeah, we should watch. There's so many good thrillers.
There's great ones out there. There's great ones out there for sure.
Candy Cane.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But that's how I feel about it. But it's very subjective, right? Because it's a very subjective thing, at the end of the day, of what a Christmas movie is and what it isn't. But it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Matthew Ferreira sends in $1.99, says Jaws 4 is a Christmas movie. The opening takes place at Christmas. It's quite a frightening. It's actually quite a disturbing opening. I wouldn't call it a Christmas movie though, overall. Darren Sands of the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast sends in £4.49 and says, is It's Me, Billy a Christmas movie? I would say no, It's Me, Billy is not a Christmas movie. I would say it's a Christmas horror movie, isn't it? Now, see, that's different because, and here's why it's different, you see? Because with regular Christmas movies, you have like I said, Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, Ernest Saves Christmas, The Santa Claus, One Magic, all the Scrooge, all the Christmas movies. There's always something. There's a formula, right? There's usually not all the time, but there's usually somebody that has to learn something. There's a lesson that you learn, and you're able to learn that lesson because of the season. With Christmas horror movies, that isn't necessarily the formula, because it's a horror movie. So the horror takes over. And the reason why it works is because of something we talked about on your channel the other day, that juxtaposition, right? That contrast. Because Christmas is a very loving, warm, fa la 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 kind of season, you add the horror element to it, and it's that now it becomes very eerie and strange and weird and scary, because it shouldn't be like this. This is supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year. And it's not. People are dying and getting murdered and all that kind of stuff, right? So I think the formula for a Christmas horror movie is a bit different than just a Christmas movie like Home Alone. So I would say that, no, It's Me, Billy's not just a Christmas movie. It would be a Christmas horror movie. But maybe that's another thing too, that maybe the diehard people have to look at. Maybe there's a different criteria for action Christmas movies, right? You know what I mean? Like maybe Die Hard. Well, no, it's not a Christmas movie, but it's a action Christmas movie. And then in that sense, there are, different rules for of what makes an action Christmas movie, or something like that, right? I don't know. But it's like Black Christmas isn't just a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas horror movie. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So I don't know.
There you go.
I think about this stuff way too deeply. Frank Riker, his co-host, sends in 10 US shekels and says, went caroling with Blum, and he said,
is that caroling?
Oh, caroling. I don't have my glasses on. Is that what it says? I don't have my glasses.
I don't know what caroling is, but I know what caroling is.
No, I do too. I have my glasses. I think that's what Frank means.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the chat thing.
Yeah, okay. So. I think that, yeah. Caroling, he says, and is restarting Halloween, retitled Halloween BC, with the backdrop of Quest for Fire, Loomis, Laurie in loincloths, all grunting, and Myers a Trex. I don't know what a Trex is, but when you said BC, because I'm a Canadian, the first thing that came to my head was British Columbia.
But I also wonder
if where Vancouver is
before Christ, based on the
that is what he means.
Options.
That is what he means. He totally means before Christ, absolutely. But I being a Canadian and a non-religious person, immediately thought of BC, out west, British Columbia, Vancouver. Really, Frank? Well, that's you know what? Maybe that's what they should do. Maybe they should do a 2000 BC prequel to the Halloween story. And we can discover, maybe we go all the way back to paganism, like I said, and all the way, just find out, and all this deep-seated stuff that no horror Halloween fan would be interested in at all. I don't know. That's funny, Frank. What's a Trex? Myers a Trex. T-Rex. Oh, do you mean a T-Rex? A T-Rex. T-Rex. Okay, T-Rex. That's what you mean. T-Rex. Frank is Frank's
T-Rex.
I can hear Frank's laugh right now. I can hear him laughing right now. One of the best laughs that Frank ever gave was, I sent Frank and Darren this video of this guy in a Michael Myers costume, and it was just hilarious. And Frank came back with a voice message. And Frank, I don't know if you remember this, but you were busting up pretty hard. You were laughing so hard you could hardly get your words out. This is like maybe a year and a half ago. Man, that was funny. I'll never forget that. Let me go. Oh, okay. I just want to, let me see here. Mr. Horror Junkie 78 says, I found it funny how Paul Dano sings Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, because he would play the Riddler in this year's Batman. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A little foreshadowing, right?
Mm-hmm. Prisoners is such a great movie.
It really is.
It's so good.
We need more movies like that.
We absolutely do. Matthew Ferreira says, in case you were wondering, that was a joke. Oh.
Oh. I don't know.
A joke? Not sure what you're talking about there, Matthew. Sorry, guys. You sent in $1.99. You also say, also, you guys should do an episode on Seven. Have we not done Seven yet? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
Seven, yeah, Seven might. That I love that movie. That's a good one.
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? Darren Sands follows up with £4.49 and says, Dave, you sound like indie. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. No, but it's true. It's true, Darren. It's true. Hey, as long as it makes sense. As long as it makes sense. What are we measuring, man? What is a Christmas movie? If it's just a movie that takes place at Christmas, well, then there's a lot of Christmas movies. Did he say that in Raiders or Last Crusade? Can't remember now what.
Are you asking me? I've never seen any of the movies.
No, I know. I was just kind of thinking out loud. Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, Dave, you could do a top 10, the best of Michael Myers stares off into the distance saying nothing videos, break down each blank cold stare. I could do that. And people would watch.
You really could. And
because we love Halloween. Totally. Right. I'm going to do that. I'm actually planning on doing a video where, talking about whether Michael is a virgin or not and whether or not,
he got it on.
He got it on.
I think he did.
I think he's a necrophiliac, to be honest with you. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe.
I think during the off season, Michael, he had to let out some stress.
It's entirely possible.
That's what kept him in good shape.
That's it. Let me see here. I'm trying to get some. Nicholas Townsend says, Dave or Tony, have you seen Phone Booth?
Oh yeah, Colin Farrell.
I haven't seen Phone Booth, but I know the movie you're talking about.
Good movie. I like that. Colin Farrell.
You know what movie I like from in and around that time? Maybe it was a little before. I think it was 2004 or 5. And this is the first movie I ever saw him in. Chris Evans, Kim Basinger, I think. Cellular. Do you remember that movie? Cellular?
Mm-hmm. No.
Chris Evans, Captain America himself.
Well, I know who he is, but I haven't seen that movie. I feel like I feel like though I've seen the poster or I've seen the VHS on Blockbuster's shelf and I just never rented it.
I think it came out in like 2004 or 5. He was quite young. And it was when everybody still had flip phones. So the smartphone had not made its way into the world yet. And it was essentially about this woman played by Kim Basinger. I think it's her. And she is she's kidnapped and she ends up calling this guy who she doesn't know. I guess I don't know how. I forget now how it happens, but he's a young kid and not kid, but like in his 20s or whatever. And he has to find out where she is before it's too late. And it all takes place like he's going through, the city, and he's got to like go into like a cell phone store to get like a charger to plug it in so he doesn't lose her and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really good. There's a couple of movies. It kind of feels like, Halle Berry did a couple of movies that were kind of in the same kind of vein. Like there was one she did where she was like a 911 call center operator, and there was a girl that called 911 from the trunk of this car that was that she was kidnapped in. And it's like that kind of movie, it's not going to win any awards, but as far as like action kind of suspense kind of stuff, it's pretty good. It kills, a rainy afternoon, I always liked Cellular. I thought it was actually decent.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Some people are asking who's the greatest Tony of all time.
Tony Michael. He's the greatest Tony of all time.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT.
Speaking of the GOAT had a rough day yesterday in San Francisco. Oh, you don't really watch football.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, me and my brother, we were hanging out because he's a Chiefs fan, so we were flipping back between the Chiefs game and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers San Francisco game. Brady, they got dusted.
Did
and
they?
It was like the quarterback that was for the 49ers. It was like his first like legit full NFL game, and he was playing like MVP. Like, it was insane. It was the most insane thing to, like, the polar opposites. Like, everything you would expect Brady to do, this kid was doing. And you kind of got to appreciate this kid must have been on cloud 9 doing what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I forget, you don't really follow football.
No, I don't. My brother Neil would have been watching that game though, because his favorite team is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that. That's right. You mentioned that.
My brother Neil, all my siblings actually. Well, I don't know if my sister out in Nova Scotia is like this or not, but my brother Neil, my brother Bob, and my sister Jill are all NFL fans. They all watch it. Jill and Bob are Green Bay Packer fans, and Neil is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And when I was a young kid, when I was very young, I took a liking to the Buffalo Bills, like in and around the time where they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I was a big Jim Kelly fan, and I had his jersey and whatnot, but it made sense because I was a Buffalo Sabres fan, and that sort of transition was easy. But then as I got a little older, I just kind of lost interest because, you go to, the Super Bowl 4 times and lose 4 times. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard, but I was always a hockey guy anyway. So
yeah,
but
I'm more of I'm more of a college football guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I will, even if Florida State's not playing in the playoffs or anything, I will be there watching it, like, at the end of December, watching all the bowl games. I love college football. Like, my brother loves the NFL. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan. I've been a Patriots fan since I was a little kid, even when they sucked in the 80s, because my grandfather was. So kind of like the same thing, like how you became a Bills fan. Like, my grandparents were Pats fans. But, like, I never really, even during, like, when they were winning it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like that Patriot fan who was because I felt like it would be so fake, because everyone knew, like, dude, you're always like wearing your Florida State shit, but we never hear you talk about the Patriots. So it was more like, I'm a Brady fan because I love Brady and I respect everything he's done throughout his career. And the fact that he's playing at 45 is insane.
Yeah.
But I don't have that same enthusiasm about the NFL that I do about college football, because I will watch, like, I watched the Army-Navy game. It was the big Army-Navy game this weekend. I'll watch that. And I'm not a fan of either team, but I get into it. Like, Georgia plays, I'm going to get into it,
right.
Even though Georgia's not my team. It's just kind of like how you are with hockey. That's just, I don't know. The NFL, like, I can enjoy it afternoon hanging out with my brother, watching it and just, have fun. I just can't. Like, I can't get into it like I can college football. I don't know why. I've been like that since I was a kid. So, because I was watching, in fact, I went back and I watched this one of the very first games that I watched in the 80s, becoming a Florida State fan. It was a Florida State Miami Hurricane game where Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders were playing. So this is like 88 or some shit. And I'm just sitting there like, I vividly remember just sitting down. My mom, she used to be like a chain smoker back in the day, just smoking the cigarettes at the kitchen table. And I'm sitting there doing this little shit, like 8-year-old Tony going like this, because I'm mimicking what the crowd is doing. I don't get what's going on because I'm so young.
Right.
And like, that's how it all, like, I think that's just where it all happened. And I just, college football, man, that was it. So,
amazing. Yeah. That's really cool. David Lee Barron sends in $4.99 and says, to our Lord and Savior, Tony Christ, have you and Dr. Pichet seen The Polar Express? It's directed by Robert Zemeckis. Thoughts? It's my favorite Christmas film. That would,
man,
for sure be Christmas.
I haven't watched that in a long time. It's a good movie.
I actually like The Polar Express.
Yeah.
And I discovered not too long ago that it kind of gets a lot of hate for some reason. I don't know why. I actually thought it was a really good Christmas movie.
Oh, I didn't know it got hate. I thought it was really good. I thought the what I'm trying to say, the cartoon, not cartoon, but animation. Thank you. Can't fucking talk.
Maybe it was the animation
was really good.
I did too. It was like state of the art when it came out in like 2004, 5, 6, somewhere in there. I actually quite like The Polar Express, David. I own it. I haven't watched it in a long time either, but I know there's an eeriness to it. Maybe that's what people mean. There is a sort of an eeriness because it's kind of it's a darker Christmas movie. Not darker, but just I don't know, the way it looks, the tone, I guess. But I liked it. Thought it was good.
It's good.
So it was a good movie.
Here's a good one. Dave and Tony from Aaron Click. What are your most embarrassing moments that you're willing to divulge publicly?
Most embarrassing moments.
I don't know about embarrassing moments, but I've had like a moment, I think. I'm trying to think here.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm trying to think. Most embarrassing.
I got mine, but
okay, go ahead.
Boy, now when I'm thinking about it, we were really weird kids. We really were. I don't know why we did this, but we did. We were at a boy-girl pool party. We were like in 5th grade and whatnot. And I don't know, for whatever reason, we just just decided it started because of me. Leave it to me to instigate the whole thing, right? So I just walked up to my boy, dropped his trowel. Hour later, my boy caught me off guard, dropped my trowel. Right? I mean, like when I say drop trowel, I'm talking everything is showing. Girls are seeing it all.
Gotcha.
You know what
I
mean? And like that's all we were doing. It wasn't embarrassing because we were like the boys were doing it to each other. I instigated the whole thing by starting it off to my boy, catching him off guard, and then he caught me off guard about an hour later, and then we caught someone else off guard.
Right.
And I would say by the end of the pool party, every dude in that party got pantsed. So
and all the girls were going.
They weren't. Well, the thing is like they really weren't because every guy ended up getting it done. So it turned into just this kind of like stupid thing that the girls were just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You know what I mean? They're like kind of looking at like, you guys got mental issues or what?
Right.
That's not a good story because it wasn't really embarrassing. It was just
I can't think of anything
juvenile, stupid stuff.
Like I know this is gonna sound like really. It's gonna sound really like, because I don't know what, but I don't have too many. At least I'm trying to think like embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not, like a situation I don't have embarrassing. I have stupid stuff.
Yeah, like I've had like silly things that have happened, but I guess it takes a lot to embarrass me. Like actually get embarrassed. You know, because I can handle awkward situations so well just because of my personality. So even if something happens where I'm at fault, like it's my fault, you know, I'm out in public or something and I'm walking down the street and I bump into somebody, like something like I'm so good handling situations like that I don't find myself feeling embarrassed, even though maybe there's certain situations where the average person might be. And I know that sounds like I'm trying to blow smoke up my ass. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm genuinely trying to think of a situation where I've been actually like really embarrassed. I don't know.
I got one. This happened I was like in my mid 20, no, it might've been 26, 27. So we have, I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I mean, I'm sure you do. And it's probably called the same thing. Jack and Jill's for couples who are getting married.
Yep.
It's like a pre-party.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So we had one for my uncle, right? And Kirstie, my girl, she was there with me at that. And I had to give a toast. I hate speaking in public, like utterly hate speaking in public. Like It is like, And I mean, I froze. Like I legit, like brain fucking family, friends, the whole 9 yards.
And you're up there. Froze. You're like locked.
I am so locked, and she saw it, and she bailed me out. She came right up, and she grabbed me by the hand. And when she did that, I relaxed, and I was able to at least just say salute, and that was it. And I gave the mic back to my father, and I said, "Take it." I don't want to say it because I don't know why he asked me to give because I had a very close relationship with him. I shouldn't say I don't know why. I had a very close relationship with he was the uncle who was into horror movies.
Right. I remember you talking about him. Yes.
Kept bugging before I could watch the original Halloween, before we got access to it on VHS. Kept asking him to tell me what happened in the movie. And God bless him, that man did every single time when we were kids. He wanted me to give a speech. And I mean, I'm telling you, she'll tell you. I mean, fucking froze. Like, just I couldn't say anything. And the moment she grabbed my hand, it kind of took me right out of it. And I was able to at least say one thing. And then I hand the mic off to my father. I said, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, that's funny. See, now, because before you told that story, I was thinking about, I was going to the certain points in my life where I had to public speak, but I'm not afraid to public speak. And
I can't picture you being afraid to
no,
talk
I'm not.
in
I'm very
public.
good at it. I'm very comfortable. So there's been lots of weddings where I've had to, deliver speeches, or funerals where I've had to deliver the eulogy, or, what have you. And I'm very comfortable. I'm not afraid of public speaking. So I'm like, I that's a scenario where I haven't been embarrassed. And I know it sounds like a cop-out. I'm genuinely trying to think of a situation where I've been embarrassed, because, when you tell me, and maybe I'm thinking too hard, because when when you ask me, what's a situation in life where you've been embarrassed, I'm thinking like that feeling where you feel small, you feel like everybody's looking at you, you feel really embarrassed, you feel, I'm being honest, I haven't had too many of those in my life. I'm thinking now, I'm trying to think back like to school and stuff. Like there's gotta be something, like there has to be something. I'm just not remembering it. There has to be something. There has to be.
That would be mine. Because when you're in front of your friends and family, and when your girl's right there.
Yes.
But
yes.
she, like I said, but she's a ride or die type girl. She saw what was happening to me.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Like
it sucks.
Like, okay, so prime example. So here's a situation that, like, I've had a lot of these situations, okay, in my life, but I'm never embarrassed by it because I'm so good at handling, I'm a really good communicator and handling, with people and, all types of situations. I remember, there's two things. Like, I'm so good at doing that. And again, I'm not trying to, I've always been really good that way. I remember that the, do you guys have the Keg down there? It's a restaurant. Maybe it's just a Canadian chain.
No, we just have a keg, like beer kegs.
Yeah, no, okay. So there's a chain of restaurants up here called...
I shouldn't say that. Maybe up in the Northeast they might have.
Maybe they do.
We don't have them down here.
So here we have a restaurant chain called the Keg, and it's like I wouldn't say it's like fine dining, but it's a few steps up above fast food. It's a nice restaurant. And it's a steakhouse. And I remember when I was working at McDonald's when I was, 16, and this lady was watching me from the back, and it was rush hour in terms of dinner time, right? So it was like packed and everything. And I'm not a manager, but I was like telling the other people what to do and get this and do this and all this kind of stuff. And this lady who I noticed, she was watching me, and I'm like, is she checking me out or something? What's going on? And she just stood there for like 30 minutes, just watching me handle this type of and I'm like 16. And she comes over to me when there's a lull sort of in the rush. And she says, sorry, I just want to say that if you ever want to come and work at the Keg, I'm the manager there, and we're looking for, bartenders and things like that. She thought I was 19. And I'm like, oh no, because I always looked like I was, 35. But I said, I'm only 60. But she loved my ability to, handle, rushes and things like that. Right. And how, I was able to do that. I don't know why I said that now. I was making a point. I guess it was just like how I'm really good with, those type of situations. So, okay. So, I just shot, Dylan's New Nightmare. And I get to the airport in Phoenix. I'm flying home, and my passport is not working in the machine. There's a machine there. I'm in the WestJet line. It's a Canadian airline. I'm in the line, and the line's moving, and it's not working, and it's asking me for something, and it's on my phone, and I'm asking people in the line, so I'm so sorry. Do you know how to do this, whatever? And some people might be embarrassed to be in that type of a situation where there's like people are moving in the line, your passport's not working, you don't know what to do. It's asking you for something and you can't find it. So you have to ask somebody in line who you don't know, what it means and all that kind of stuff. And I had to do that. And it lasted for like 15 minutes because the line kept moving and I kept having to go back to the machine and, all this kind of stuff. But I never felt embarrassed. I just felt because I'm really good at handling those types of situations, because I'm a really effective communicator, you know, and being able to talk to certain people and all that kind of stuff. And they were really nice about it. And I'm trying, and then as soon as I get to the, you know, the lady at the counter to, you know, check in the bag, I had just finished checking in. You know what I mean? So I've had a lot of those types of situations in my life, you know, where like I've left my wallet in the store and I've had to go back, and, you know, I've left my phone in a taxi and I had to run out and find the taxi. But I never feel embarrassed. I just feel like, okay, I need to get my fucking phone. You know, I have to do this. I got to do this. And, you know, I've had lots of those types of things in my life, but I'm trying to think of something where I'm like, I'm really embarrassed. Like I'm like not ashamed, but I'm, you know, like I feel like all eyes are on me, you know, and I feel that embarrassed. I know I've had it. Listen, I'm 43 years old. There's no way I haven't had it, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would think is, oh my God, that was so fucking embarrassing. I can't think of it.
That was one of the things I loved about being a mix show DJ versus to being like the radio, because there's the radio talent, like the on-air DJ who's going to do all the talking, and then there's the guys like us who do all the mixing of the music at the clubs and stuff.
Right.
I didn't have to fucking say a shit. Nope. That was all on the whoever was hosting for the night at the club. That was all on them. My job was play the music. I had a situation where one of the turntables crapped out on me, but that's not really embarrassing. I mean, it's in the moment you're like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle of a mix and a turntable goes. It's a technical problem that's out of my control. It's kind of embarrassing. But that's all that's why clubs, you always have a backup and get that backup in and you're off and running. So it's not like you said, it's not embarrassing. It's more of like a, why does this have to happen type scenario. It's out of your control when it's a technical thing.
Yeah. Aaron Click says something here, and I think he might be right. He says, it sounds like you feel more of a sense of urgency than actual embarrassment most of the time.
Yeah, like I think that's the club thing that would happen. Yeah, it's an urgency to get the music going again and get the show back going, and not freak out.
I think that's what it is. I think it depends on. And again, it's not that I'm you know, immune to embarrassment. No, of course I can become embarrassed, but I think maybe my threshold's a bit stronger because I'm I'm very good, you know, with people and communicating and, you know, wrangling, you know, in certain situations. And I think maybe that strength that I have, my dad had it, you know, I think my sister Jill has it. My sister Jill has it for sure. She's very good with people and in those types of situations. So I think it's not that we can't get embarrassed, but I think just like maybe our threshold's a bit stronger under normal circumstances. And rather than be like embarrassed, we just automatically go, okay, I need to fix this. You know, what are we going to do? And it just, this kind of automatic thing kicks in, and I just, you know, I get to work. But there's gotta be something. Anyway, I don't know.
I got another one. She's going to kill me, but whatever. It doesn't matter. When we were teenagers, her sister caught us doing shortly after doing the deed or doing the deed.
That would be embarrassing.
We were in the car, it was wintertime, and all of a sudden I just remember her younger sister just coming up, bam, 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 right on the fucking window door. I was just like, oh shit. So I don't know what she saw. You know, like, did she see it the act of it happening, or did she see it after the fact?
Right.
I'm gonna
I got you. I got you.
That might have been more embarrassing for her, because I was like,
I think those types of things probably are more embarrassing for women, just because of the culture and things like that. But anyway, I will continue to think, because I know it for some people in the chat right now, they're probably like, oh, Dave, never. No, I'm not saying I've never been embarrassed. I know I have at some point. There's got to be some, but I'm really having trouble thinking of something that's really juicy, you know, that's really like, oh God, that was really embarrassing. I think there's got to be a few things in school. There's got to be something in school. Anyway, let's move on here for the time being.
School moment. I mean, you know, I'll never back down from a fight, even when a dude is 6'2" and outweighs me by like 150 pounds. And the guy really did. And he whooped my ass. I'm like, I got an ass whooping, you know, but I won't back down. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going down, I'm going down swinging. I went down swinging, but I went down.
You went down.
You know, like,
I got you.
Look, it's a fight. I lost the fight. I mean, I'm still here to live another day. You know, no guns were involved or anything stupid like it would be today. I got an ass whooping. I mean, the guy was bigger than me, and you know, I ran my mouth, and you know,
it's what it is. It's what it is.
Exactly. It is what it is.
Oh, I do remember. This is so stupid. This is so lame that I actually have to go here. I do remember. I was one of those kids that I remember when my dad, and this is such a cliche thing, but I think I was in like the 6th grade or something, or the 5th grade. So I'm like, I don't know, 10, 11. And my dad dropped me off at school. And as I was walking away from the car, typical of my father, he was like, "Have a good day, Dave. Bye." Like, just he put on a funny voice, and all my friends were there. I remember feeling embarrassed about that. I remember being like, "Fuck, Dad." You know what I mean? It's such a silly, lame thing, but I think because I was so young, you know, and you're always trying to look cool, you know, in front of your friends, and of course my father knew it. That's why he did it. You know what I mean? I do remember that. I remember feeling embarrassed for sure. There's got to be other things like that too. Cinemagic sends in 50 Norwegian shekels and says, "Tony, have you heard about a rock band called Nightwish? I highly recommend the song Ghost Love Score live at Wacken."
Okay, I'll check. I've never heard of them.
Never heard of them either.
Certainly, I will. I'll check them out.
Okay, never heard of them either. Everybody's talking about their most embarrassing stuff right now.
There you go. Good. See, so I don't want to get an angry text in an hour, because I have a feeling I'm going to get an angry text now.
Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, "Oh, come on, Dave. Just say that you love Halloween. Just say that you love Halloween Resurrection. That's embarrassing." All right, I admit, I love Halloween Resurrection. Do you remember the time I was called racist because I didn't like Halloween Resurrection? Do you remember that?
You were? Well, I'm not surprised nowadays. People use that word like people use that word so much.
It's it was like a year ago. Somebody sent me, and they were serious. They said they felt that the reason I didn't like Halloween Resurrection was because of, it was because I was making fun of Busta Rhymes. But it's his character, not his race. You could have had Eminem in there, doing the same thing, and I would have hated the character just as much.
Could have had anybody play, and they really had nothing to do with Busta.
Doesn't matter at all. But that's the internet for you, right? It's so ridiculous. Let's see here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
I mean, you can't hear that melody and not say it.
No, you can't. You can't hear it at all. Rob Thidoff says, "D&T, in another world, I give you $10 million. Can you make it this world and give it to the Indiegogo campaign in the spring?" Yeah. "In another world, I give you $10 million to do the Halloween 4 sequel. I even get Ellie and Danielle to join. Here's the condition. You have to cast me as Michael Myers. Do both of you?" Well, Rob, I can't speak for Tony because I don't think Tony has seen you. I have seen you, and you look like you have the right stature. So I'm going to say yes. Why not? Let's do it.
I'm going to say no. I can't be bought.
He can't be bought. He can't be bought. All right.
Can't be bought.
There you go. There it is.
I have my
folks.
standards.
There it is. Moran Fan 78 says, "Dave, who is your favorite Batman?" I would say Christian Bale, but Michael Keaton was amazing. I would say my favorite Batman. I don't really have a favorite Batman. I like Michael Keaton, but I like Bale. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'll just say that. Those two, I guess. I'm going to say Keaton. Clooney. I'm going to say Clooney. Yeah. Does anybody ever say Clooney?
For the nipples. You're going for the nipples Batman. Wait, no, was that Kilmer? No, was Kilmer nipples?
No,
or was Clooney
was nips. Clooney was nips. And does anybody, like, here's the crazy thing. There has to be somebody, somewhere on this planet right now, even if it's just one person, there has to be somebody somewhere right now that loves George Clooney as Batman. Maybe that person's in the chat.
There's quite a few people that like the Clooney Batman.
Maybe that that person's in the chat right now. I don't know.
Keaton will be my Batman. Like, it's kind of like Christopher Reeve, it's,
I get you. Yeah. Well,
I'm hearing murmurs now, I guess, that there's a canceled project that was going to involve Keaton with Batman Beyond, which is what we've all been asking for years now. I don't know how true that is, because you hear a lot of this stuff is, shit that just gets leaked out online. You don't know what's what nowadays. And
there's so much stuff. I feel bad too, because I know that some of our viewers are really into that, like really into the Marvel and Gossip. The DC stuff.
Oh, the Marvel and the DC.
Yeah. Like heavily into it. And
sure.
Sometimes I'll get questions that'll be, and I feel bad because I wish I knew more about it. Like, I always have a surface level understanding of what's going on because I read entertainment news, so I'm reading The Hollywood Reporter, I'm reading Deadline, I'm reading Variety, I'm reading Bloody Disgusting. Well, actually they're horror. But like the general sort of pop culture entertainment news. So I know right now that, Wonder Woman 3's been canceled and this whole thing. Like, I mean, I know about all the sort of the mainstream kind of stuff because I read about it, but I don't have that like deep, like real, and so I'm very surface level when it comes to the comic book stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Aaron Click, you racist son of a bitch. Let me see here. Cody Snyder says they don't say they liked Clooney more. They just mention him more than Kilmer. I actually, I can't, oh God, I can't even remember Batman Forever right now, but was Kilmer a good Batman?
I don't, after Batman Returns, I don't know. I haven't really watched the other two since we were kids, like when they came out.
Yeah. And this is how sort of surface level I am. I only learned like a couple of years ago that there are people that will say, well, no, look, he's a good Bruce Wayne, but he's a good Batman. And I'm like, oh, I never even thought to differentiate it like that. I never even thought to separate it like that, but it totally makes sense when you think of the character, right?
Sure.
And then there's people that are like, no, he's always Batman. It's Bruce Wayne that's his alter ego, not the other way around. And I'm like, oh, I never even thought of it like that before. like this is how, like, I'm like, there's sometimes I'm like, that's cool. I never even thought of that before, so this is how surface level I am with a lot of that shit. But,
yes, sir.
I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually like Batman Begins better than The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great movie. But a couple of years ago, I watched.
Are you talking about the Nolan trilogy?
Yeah. But a couple of years ago, I watched them like 1, 2, 3, all in like one sitting, and I found myself liking Batman Begins better. I know that's
the only thing the one and only complaint that I have with Nolan's trilogy is Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Hater. I'm not a big fan of Anne Hathaway to begin with.
Yeah, I'm not a big Hathaway fan.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything for me. It's just I felt like he could have. I don't know. It just could have been anyone else. The only thing I didn't like about the third one is it dragged a little bit. Like I thought that they could have picked up the pace a bit faster, with the storytelling. But other than that, I mean, it's a good trilogy. It's solid. I mean, but for me, the two that I watched the most would be Batman and Batman Returns with Michael Keaton. Right.
Yeah. Gotcha. Sebastian sends in $4.99. Thank you, Sebastian, and says, "Hey, Dave, it's me again from yesterday." Yes. And hello, Tony. You're fun to watch as well. Thoughts on Rush Hour 4 returning and Evil Dead Rise? Thanks. Okay, well, I'm a big fan of the Rush Hour movies, actually.
Yeah, same here.
I think they're really funny. And what do I think of a fourth one? I did hear that it is in development right now. It's actually, there was a picture of Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, doing a number 4 at the camera. So apparently it is, I mean, it still could not happen, of course, but apparently there is some movement on it finally. But the last one was 2007. I'm not worried about
Tucker. Well, I was going to say, I'm not worried about Tucker, but I'm like, can Jackie still do the shit that he was doing back in 2007? I mean, he's not a young buck.
He's not. And
a lot of what he did and the stunts he did in those movies, I mean, it's a lot of physical shit,
I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm also surprised that Chris Tucker didn't have a more, although I know there's a variety of reasons. I read up on it, but I think he's hilarious. Well, I think he's hilarious in the Rush Hour films. And I thought he was funny.
I love him in Friday. He's funny.
Yeah. And he's funny in the Bruce Willis movie from 97.
I almost said isn't Daniel Harrison that too?
No. That's The Last Boy Scout. You're thinking of Damian Wayans, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of Damian Wayans. Yeah,
Fuck. What the hell is that movie called? Chat room's going to let us know.
Money Talks? No, that's Charlie Sheen.
No. Yeah. No, the chat room will let us. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. Why am I forgetting this? Chat room will let us know.
Anywho, but yeah, as far as the movies go, I mean, I didn't know about Evil Dead.
That's
right?
it. Fifth Element. Thank you, Unimpressive Media.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's. I mean, the last one was 2007.
Yeah, can Jackie still do the stunts that he was, because that really makes up a lot of what Rush Hour is a lot of the shit that his character does.
That's it.
I mean, Chris Tucker doesn't have to do that stuff, so he just has to be the same guy, funny and whatever. It's really, can Jackie still do that shit?
Yeah, exactly.
And what's he pushing now? How old is he?
He's got to be in his 60s. Hey, Google.
Easily.
How old is Jackie Chan?
I mean, damn, he was starring in movies with Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Hey, Google, how old is Jackie Chan?
He's 68 years old.
He's 68. So, I mean,
68, I mean,
they're going to have to deep fake him.
Depending on the acting you're doing, it's not old. But if you're talking about doing the shit that, Jackie was doing back in the day, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And then thoughts on Evil Dead Rise. I don't really care. I like I like Evil Dead enough, but it's never been one of my favorite horror franchises. So
Same.
I'm just like, meh, whatever. I don't really care. But I know there's a lot of Evil Dead fans that are very excited about it, as you should be. Nico_13 sends in nearly €6 and says, I think Tanner Buchanan would be a perfect Terry McGinnis in a Batman Beyond movie. I don't know who Terry McGinnis is. Maybe you do, Tony, the character Terry McGinnis. He's saying, I think
he's Nightwing.
Oh,
Nightwing.
Okay. He's saying, I think
he's basically the new Batman. I think I could be wrong.
I don't even know what Nightwing looks like. So I've heard of the name.
It's kind of a badass character. It is.
Okay, cool. I've heard of the name. I've definitely heard of the name. Do you know who Tanner?
And no, Tanner Buchanan from Cobra Kai would not be a good slate. He's too short. He's too mean. He's too small.
Him. Is he
the kid who plays Robbie?
Robbie. Okay.
He's him as Nightwing in Batman Beyond? No, come on. He's too small for that role.
Okay. There you have it, folks. There you have it.
Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Who the fuck is what's the character? Is he Batman? I don't know
who Terry McGinnis is at all. I have no idea. Cinemagic sends in another 50 Norwegian dollars and says Nightwish combines symphonic and cinematic style in their music with some Metallica elements too. The lead singer is out of this world. Really good. That's very cool. I'll have to do a YouTube search and because I've never heard of them. Nightwish.
Oh, he is the new Batman. So yeah, if he's the new That's right. He is the new Batman in Batman Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Terry McGinnis is, and then Nightwing is Robin when he's no longer that's right. That's how that goes. I don't have all this shit down, even though I watch a little bit of it. I don't know it like that. But now, as far as being Batman and Batman no, he's too fucking small for that.
Well, I think he said not Batman. He said who's Terry McGinnis?
That's Batman. That's the new Batman.
Okay.
So when we're talking Batman Beyond, like Batman Beyond is Bruce. I almost said Bruce Willis.
He's too small.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne is older.
It's like me being Batman.
And so we're saying Michael Keaton would be there, but he's older. He's older Bruce Wayne.
Right.
There's a new Batman who's in Batman Beyond, who's played the character's name is Terry McGinnis. That's correct. So he's saying the kid from Cobra Kai is basically the new Batman, and I'm like, nah, he too small, man. He too small.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think he's quite small. Yeah. And then just to recap here, Cinemagic said Nightwish combined symphonic and cinematic style in their music with some Metallica elements too. The lead singer is out of this world, really good. So we'll have to check out some Nightwish. I've never heard of them. That's very cool.
No, but you know who would be a good Red Hood? Jensen Ackles. He's Red Hood in the voice, but he also would be Red Hood is basically the Joker. I almost said the Joker, not the Joker. Don't shoot me. I didn't mean it like that. Technically, it's not wrong because before he became the Joker, he was the Red Hood. So I'm right to a certain extent, but the Red Hood I'm referring to that with Jensen Ackles voiced it, and the Red Hood was the Robin who was killed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think it's Jason Todd. No, not Jason Todd. You remember the Robin in the 80s, the one where he dies, he gets blown, Joker kills him in the blow up. Anyways, that Robin who dies, Jensen Ackles plays an adult version of that Robin who comes back as the new Red Hood, because the Red Hood originally was the Joker and then became the Joker.
See, this is all the deep stuff that I don't know.
Jason Todd. So that's right. So Jason Todd, who was killed initially in All in the Family, which I would love to see. Death in the Family. All in the Family. Jesus. Death in the Family. That's probably the only comic that I really know besides Frank Miller's graphic novel. And yeah, I know people have wanted to see a live action with Jensen Ackles, who's on Supernatural, who does the voice of, because he would be good for that. So now when I say that, now you think of Jensen Ackles and you think of his physique, he's not a big guy, but he is in shape.
Right.
That's the kind of actor you want to think of playing Terry and Nightwing, or not Nightwing, Batman Beyond. That's kind of what I would use as the bar. So
cool. I have absolutely no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I just said.
No idea what you're talking about.
Half of what I just said, I don't even know how I know.
And this is what I mean. Like, I know so little. Like, I have never, and this is the truth. And this is the truth. I have never in my entire life read a Marvel or DC comic. Now,
I've too. The Robin one where he dies in the dark Frank Miller's Dark Knight.
I read a couple of Alf comics. The alien from Melmac. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not. When I say I'm not a superhero
Joker
guy,
book over there. It's like 80 years of the Joker. It's like basically all his shit covered, all his highlights of his best comics over 8. That's not my thing. It's my brother's thing.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I get you. I can't
even believe I knew all that shit.
Well, it's buried in your subconscious, I guess.
Somehow. Yeah.
I mean, look at all these people agreeing with you and adding to what you're saying. They're all comic book nerds in here. They're all sweaty nerds. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love you, sweaty nerds. Because like I said, I say that with affection because I'm a gigantic, sweaty Halloween nerd. So.
There you go.
All right. We can sweat together. Wait, no, that didn't sound right. Frank says, go ahead, Dave, and explain how dark Alf's Christmas special is. No, I am not going to go down that road, Frank. It's pretty dark, actually. Chester Franklin Jr. says, Dave and Tony, did you guys notice in Escape from New York that John Carpenter played the violin and Nick Castle played the piano, and also have Nick as Michael instead of Dick Warlock as Michael in H2? So there's a couple of questions there. I haven't seen Escape from New York in a while. When you first
I've never seen Escape from New York or Escape from LA. Yep, never seen those two.
You don't need to see Escape from LA. Okay. But watch Escape from New York. Maybe we should watch it on the channel.
Maybe we should.
When Chester said, did you know that John Carpenter played the violin? For some reason, I'm picturing John Carpenter cosplaying as a violin. No. He's dressed up as a violin.
He's dressed as a violin. Oh, I gotcha.
No, I didn't know that. And what about Nick Castle as Michael Myers in H2 instead of Dick Warlock?
I guess he's asking like why Nick never reprised the role as Michael.
He wasn't asked.
Yeah,
that's what he said. He wasn't asked. And back then,
it does make you wonder if he did stay consistent with it and he did come back every time. I think it would have definitely changed 2 a little bit. It certainly would have changed 4 a lot. You know what I mean? Having him reprise the role in 4. I don't know. 5, I mean, it wouldn't have saved 5. 5 was already a disaster from the get-go.
Yeah. They just didn't know, like back then,
no, they didn't.
How important that was. It wasn't important. I mean, look, that's why, somebody else actually plays Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for one shot. And because
it looks like a fucking robot.
It does. And they just felt that, listen, many people can play Michael Myers. Many people can play Jason Voorhees. Robert asked for a raise and they didn't want to give it to him. So they put some other guy in the getup and it wasn't working at all. So they went back to Robert. They gave him the raise and away you go. Now that's a bit different again, because there's a physicality and, a whole sort of vocal performance there as well. But it was the early 80s. Nobody thought about that kind of stuff. It didn't register. Nick didn't think about it. Nick didn't care. I'm sure when I don't know for sure, but I think it's likely that when Nick found out they were doing a part 2, he probably was like, oh, that's great. And didn't.
It's like, they're doing what? Like,
yeah.
Because they weren't thinking there was going to be a sequel.
No. But I doubt he was like, gee, I hope they asked me to come back and play Michael. He didn't give a fuck. He was, I doubt that even crossed his mind. He actually famously said it wasn't until like the mid 2000s when he was on his MSN homepage on his computer, and some anniversary, maybe it was even 2003, the 25th anniversary maybe, and he said he saw his face. I forget what interview he said this in, but he saw his face amongst other horror icons like Robert Englund and all that kind of stuff in some sort of like horror, editorial or something, and he was like, what the fuck? And it was only at that moment when he realized how crazy and important this, his contribution to Halloween was. He was like, I didn't know. Fuck, I'm making movies. He became a filmmaker, right? He was a director, and he wasn't thinking about that. I mean, obviously he was aware that there was a Halloween H2O and aware that there were Halloween sequels, but he never, ever put any thought into his role being so important, and he's often said, I mean, now I'm sure he's, used to it, but, he's often said the idea of going to a convention and like, what? People want to, what? They don't even see me. I'm just, what? Now, of course, so back in 1981, no, it probably never crossed his mind. It never crossed his mind. And they saw Dick Warlock, and they're like, hey, Dick, you want to do this? He was like, all right, and it's only in retrospect years later that, because of the fans and because of the internet that we are, dissecting these things and, the nuances of each individual performance. And we're all like, we really like that first performance the best and all that kind of stuff. But, without the internet, without YouTube, nobody is watching these things and dissecting it. And, there's no, group forums and chats where you can talk to people and all that kind of stuff. It's just, you had to wait for it to come on TV.
before the internet, like, I mean, we were into it, but like we weren't sitting there having conversations like we are now about it. Not even close.
No, because there was no place that afforded you to do that.
But I don't even think we were thinking along those lines either.
No,
you know what I mean?
Because you didn't know that there were other people like that either. That's right.
You know, I mean, I had friends who were into horror movies and stuff, but it was just like, oh, did you see the new Jason movie? Or, oh, did you see this movie? You know what I mean? Like, but we weren't sitting there having these deep, long conversations and dissecting it. Like, you know what I mean? We're just sitting back fucking watching the movies. That's all it was. You know, it wasn't like, it wasn't until YouTube and people started to make that type of content to where they were breaking these movies down and overanalyzing it and having these what if conversations. Because we weren't the first to start it. These what if conversations have been going on for a while now. Well,
and they were in the chat rooms, like, you know, before social media.
Exactly. You know, so it really hasn't, the way it's talked about now really didn't start to become a thing until the last like decade. Yeah. Really. This is still very new because prior to this, we weren't talking like this about these movies. We were just like, hey, what's your favorite movie? Even cool, you know,
the rise of conventions as we know them now are really a really new thing. Now, what I mean by that is obviously conventions have been around for decades. But it's like Comic-Con Comic Con, it's Comic Con, right? It's about comics and superheroes and all that kind of stuff. And now it's really just a pop culture convention is what Comic-Con is and what, you know, a lot of these big conventions are. But, you know, in terms of like going to a convention and meeting celebrities and getting autographs and panels and knickknacks and paddywhacks and trinkets and, you know, and t-shirts and hoodies and cosplaying and dressing up as your favorite character. I mean, there's a convention like every fucking weekend now. And that's like new within the last like 10 to 15 years. Like
dude,
that's
look at what we had as kids growing up, just to go to show you the level of like how the quality of masks that we had. I mean, you know what I mean? Our masks were so terrible, but we weren't. But they were. We look at them now as being terrible, but let me tell you, back then when we were kids, they were everything.
They were everything.
Everything.
100%. 100%.
We never thought, like when I put that bullshit Don Post mask on back in the day, I thought I was the man. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking like the mask I got behind me now. Like no.
When I saw
y'all are spoiled.
It's true, but
you really are.
But it's true. Like the last 10 years, especially, you know, well, I would say like since 2009 and 10, like the last 12 or 13 years, the rise of accessibility to celebrities, accessibility to, pop culture and a community of pop culture is just through the roof now. And we're a part of that here. Like this channel, YouTube, talking movies, conventions, we're all a part of it. And it's just, and it will only continue to expand exponentially, you know, and, but yeah, it's fairly new, you know, that this didn't, I mean, Sean Clark has, you know, famously said that, you know, it took a while to get Nick Castle to even go to a convention, you know, and I'm paraphrasing this story, and I forget what year this was. It might have been like 2009 or 8 or something like that. But Sean had invited Nick to a convention that he was doing. Maybe it was a little bit after that. Maybe it was like 10 or something. I can't remember. But anyway, Tommy Lee Wallace, I think, was going to be there. And Nick Castle said, well, you know what? I'll just go and I'll just shadow it. Like, I'm not going to sign autographs. I'm not going to go, you know, nobody's going to know who I am. I'm just going to go, you know, I'll sit there. I'll sit kind of behind Tommy and, you know, whatever, right? Well, that didn't last long because as soon as Halloween fans saw him there, they were like, fucking Nick Castle, holy fucking shit, because it's not like he was advertised as going to be there. Do you know what I mean? He was just kind of going to hang out, to kind of see what it was like, you know, whatever. And people lost their shit. And he was stunned that people were even recognizing him and losing their shit. They're like, well, what the fuck is going on here, right? And now, of course, you know, becomes quite a quite a nice, a nice job, if you can do enough of them and give back and hang out with fans and sign autographs and take photos and now of course he's a veteran now, but years ago, yeah, he was stunned. He was like, I didn't even realize people gave a shit. I don't think about it, so I didn't think they were thinking about it. So
true. No, it's true.
So much has changed. It's crazy. Let me see here. Danny H Vlog says, Dave, with your ventures in voice acting, have you ever had any run-ins with Kevin Conroy, the definitive Batman to a lot of people? No, me personally, no. I've never met Kevin Conroy, and that's largely. Now I do know voice actors that have worked with him, that know him. But I've never worked with him. I've said a lot on this channel that the vast majority of my voiceover career has been spent in the commercial, promo, trailer, and narration side of things, right? So the commercial and promo side of the voiceover world. It's only really been the last 5 years or so that I've really started to put a lot of effort into the animation side of my voiceover career. And so I haven't, and I'm certainly not doing, animation that would be on the level that Kevin Conroy was doing. So no, I haven't met him. But I do know people who've worked with him, and it's unfortunate that he passed. But again, I didn't watch the cartoon, so I don't feel any sort of emotional loss for Kevin. I mean, it's sad, and obviously it's sad, and I feel for his family and his friends and his fellow VO actors. But when he died, it was more like, oh, that's that's too bad. But I never watched the cartoon, and I didn't know him, so. But yeah, no, I've just started to beef up the animation side of my portfolio the last 5 years or so, and it's been fun. It's been fun, but yeah, commercial and promo is where I spent most of my career. So you probably heard my voice on a commercial or a movie trailer, but obviously wouldn't have known it.
Yeah, I suffered last week. I suffered my first loss as far as like a loss that affected me with Kirstie Alley. That hurt.
Kirstie,
that hurt that hurt me a lot. Well, because I'm such a huge Cheers fan. It's my all-time favorite show. And like,
it's funny you bring that up because I mentioned it to my girlfriend.
Stream, and everybody started texting me like, "Dude, Kirstie Alley died." I'm like, "What?" We hadn't been off we had just finished like within 5 minutes. And like my phone is blowing up, like message from my brother, my father, from everybody. I'm like, what the? Because I've always been a big fan of Rebecca too. The character that she played on the show, and that just broke my heart because I had no clue. I had no clue she was fighting cancer.
No one did.
No clue.
No one did. And yeah, I saw it. I guess it was after we did the show too. And the next day, I was with my girlfriend, and I told her, and she didn't know. And she's a big. Well, not a bit, but I mean, she really liked the character of Rebecca on Cheers, and I even said to her, I said, I wonder how Tony's doing, because I said that you're I should have checked in with you. I didn't even think I should have checked in with you and be like, dude, are you okay? Do you need me to like fly down there? Or?
It was the first, look, we've lost a lot of people, but because I'm such a big Cheers fan.
Yes.
I mean, and I like the Look Who's Talking movies. Those were cute that she did with Travolta. But Cheers, because there's such a connection to that show that I have from my childhood and still watching it to this day, that was my first like, what the fuck, man?
Yes.
Like that hit hard.
Yeah.
Because it was not something I was expecting. We had just finished the show last week, and next thing you know, I'm getting bombarded with these messages from everybody. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And that's like that first like probably the way you're going to feel when Harrison Ford, probably, maybe not, maybe yours might be a little bit more, you know what I mean?
I don't know, but maybe not like it. I mean, look, when Harrison Ford dies, I'm definitely going to feel it. Like there's going to be like a week of mourning on the channel. But because he's 80 and because he's like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I'll be prepared for it. Kirstie just came out of nowhere.
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 Like, especially hearing it was cancer, and I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. But it just goes to show you, like we've said on this channel. I mean, we're all. I mean, not that we're in our 70s, we're only in our 40s, but we're all. Everybody's getting older now, and the people.
And we're at that age where this shit's going to become very common.
Yes, the people that it's only. We are as of right now, we are the youngest and healthiest that we will ever be, and every day that is a reality. And all these people that we grew up with, actors, actresses, singers, performers, I mean, we're going to start losing a lot of people.
We are. And the thing that I love about her character and what she did, look, I mean, we all know the dynamic of the show was built around Sam and Diane. There's no argument there. And I get it, and I get to that debate with people all the time. She's not Diane. She wasn't ever going to try to be Diane. And that's what I loved about her. I liked
Rebecca. I thought she was great.
She was great. I mean, the clip because I watched a bunch of Cheers shows the following day, like some of my favorites with her. And I love and it's the finale. And I love that scene when she comes in after marrying Tom Berenger's character, because to know Rebecca, right? She's gone after.
I watched that. That was the clip I told. Yes, where she's like, I married a plumber.
Because her character, like for the whole time he's been there, she's after Robin Colcourt, all these rich men, and she marries. We're gonna have little plumbers, and it's just the way she delivers it. It's so hilarious.
It is. And what's ironic about that is that Tom Berenger back at that time was like a Tom Selleck. Yeah, there's a lot of women that would have given anything to be with Tom Berenger.
So it makes the scene even funnier.
If you don't know who Tom Berenger is, just imagine Kirstie Alley being upset about being with like a Tom Selleck. You know what I mean? That's what it also makes it really funny, So yeah, no, she was great. So sad. 71, colon cancer. She kept it quiet. Apparently it was, I don't think she had been battling it for long.
No, it sounds like something that came quick and took her quick.
Yeah, like maybe the last few months, perhaps. I'm not sure, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It is. LBZ sends in $9.99. Thanks, buddy. Says, is it safe to assume the success of the Chucky TV series has started a trend amongst our horror icons? Yes, we did get a Scream TV series, but it wasn't nowhere as successful as the Chucky TV series. Well, that's a cool question, man. I have to admit, have you watched the Chucky TV?
I've only seen snippets on YouTube, little bits here. No, I'm not really. For me, Child's Play, really, it's the first two movies, and I've seen clips of stuff, but I never really got into it.
Yeah,
that's more of a Cody Leach question.
It is, yeah. Cody Leach is like,
he is Chucky. He's Mr. Chucky.
He's Mr. Chuck. He's Mr. Chuck.
He's Mr. Chuck.
I would say I've not watched any of the episodes, but I've watched clips of them online, and I do know that season 1 was really successful. People really liked it, and I've heard season 2 is kind of mixed. Now, Chucky, the TV series, is shot here in Toronto, actually. White's, the company that Bruce works for, supplies the gear. And so that's kind of cool. But I haven't watched it. Has it started a trend? I think what trend there might be, LBZ. I like that, LBZ. See, I said Z because I'm assuming you're American. See, if I said Z, it'd be like, it's still Canadian. We say Z up here. And it should be Z because it rhymes with the rest of the alphabet. I mean, if you say Z, it's kind of like anti-climactic. It's like, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. It's like, what? No, it should be Z. Anyway, that's a side note. I digress. I think what you might see happen is, so you got Chucky on TV. You have Crystal Lake coming to TV, you might see Freddy do the same. I think it's because maybe it's a platform that allows a lot of development and a lot of breathing room for characters, because you can tell, like, if you got, a season where you have, let's say, like 8 episodes and each episode is an hour, that's an 8-hour movie. That's 4 2-hour movies, right? So no, 4 2-hour films. So, it really affords you that time to flesh things out, to kind of get people on board, returning cast members, really build big story arcs that you don't really have in a 90-minute film. And so I think maybe for our legacy slasher villains, even though Halloween, despite the fact that people didn't like Ends, it still did gross over $100 million at the box office. So there's still clearly, like, I think if you were to put Jason in the theater and Freddy in the theater, I think they would still do well. But I think what you don't get when you do a theatrical release is you don't get 8 hours, right? Because if you don't like season 1, or if you don't like episode 1, or you don't like episode 2, maybe you'll love episode 3. And maybe you'll like episode 4, and then it picks up, right? Because usually these things will either drop all at once, or now you're seeing some services do the, weekly thing, but it's all there. Now,
not many shows have that Stranger Things type thing where you're going right from the jump. You know what I mean? Where you, like you said, there's some series, like even the Wednesday series. It took me about episode 2 or 3 to finally really find my groove with it and go, okay, yeah, I'm digging this. But like Stranger Things, right from the jump. But
what's great about that though, and where the advantage might lie is, let's say Tony and I are making a movie and we're making a Friday the 13th film. And so we have to start with one movie, right? That's what we have to start with. And that one movie will probably be like 90 to 100 minutes long. But if Tony and I have this big arc, right, that we want to tell, we may never get the opportunity to tell that if people don't like our first movie. But if we're doing a series and we get a chance to do 8 1-hour episodes, which is 4 2-hour movies, well, if you don't like our first episode, there's still a chance you might like our second episode. And then maybe things will pick up. So there's more information, there's more story being told in a season of television than in 90 minutes of a movie. And so that's why I think maybe you might see a lot of these legacy slasher villains. Maybe TV is the way to go to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, obviously a studio executive, but you are afforded a huge opportunity. When Crystal Lake comes out, I'm just assuming, it's probably going to be 6 to 8 episodes, and they're probably going to be 1 hour long each. That's 6 to 8 hours. That's a lot of time to flesh things out and get you back on board. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the Chucky TV series has necessarily started it, but I think maybe it's just helping to confirm it. I don't know. I haven't seen the series, so I'm not really sure. And it's not on a streaming service either. It's on Sci-Fi, I believe, right? So it's actually network television, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, though. Yeah. Great question, though. That's a great question.
You had a super chat here from Mad Mars a little while back. He asked,
my apologies for
$5. He asked, besides Halloween and The Thing, John Carpenter makes better music than he does movies, especially nowadays.
I don't know. I would say that.
And you got one more you got to do after that we skipped over too.
I see it there.
You got it? Okay.
Yep. I would say that there's probably John Carpenter's movies have largely been I guess, there's some of them that his movies have largely not been box office hits, outside of, even The Thing was a box office, disappointment. But I would say, early John Carpenter, he was pretty solid in that B movie horror kind of thing, right? Halloween, Escape from New York, The Thing, The Fog. Well, that's a bit later, but The Fog, Christine. And then he does, and then in the later 80s, he's got They Live, which I think was pretty solid. But then in the 90s, it's the 90s where he stumbled, like really stumbled. Because in the 90s,
really after They Live, it kind of,
yeah, in the 90s, he had Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase. And then, of course, you have one that I actually quite like, speaking of Kirstie Alley, Village of the Damned with her and Christopher Reeves. I kind of like it, but it was a disappointment. It didn't do anything. In the Mouth of Madness, which I actually kind of like, but it was also a disappointment. Didn't do anything. Vampires, Ghosts of Mars. Like, so he didn't really like... His best work certainly was from the 80s, for sure. Does he do better music than movies? I don't know. I mean, he does great music, for sure.
I mean, certainly the best thing from this recent trilogy was the music that he scored. I mean, if there's one consistent good thing, I
would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
And then Anthony T sends in $10, says, are you guys okay with movies or TV that leave unanswered questions or storylines that leave it up to your interpretation, or would you rather know exactly what the writer intended? I think for me personally, I actually quite like things like that, ambiguity, but I don't like it when movies end suddenly, when it feels like it feels abrupt. And I'm kind of like, I've watched a few movies in my life where I'm like, what? It just cut to black in the credits. What? That's it? You know what I mean? And it feels a little abrupt. I don't like that, but I do like movies that leave things open to my imagination or open to interpretation.
Kind of like the movie I just watched, Prisoners, the way that ends. That's true. It's an open ending. You don't know. Does he get him out? Does he hear it? You know what I mean? And I like that. Really good example. It's like, you don't know.
Yep. But the rest of the movie feel like I like movies that treat audiences, and again, it depends on the genre, right? It depends on the movie and the story. But I like a bit of ambiguity. I like being challenged. Sure. I like being able to not have everything fed to me on a silver platter. I like watching, movies that treat me like I'm intelligent, and that I don't have to have every single thing explained to me, because there's enough there that I can fill in the gaps on my own. I like that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that every movie that ends, leaving it open for interpretation is successful at communicating that to the audience. It depends on how much information is presented throughout the movie, the pacing of the film. Because there have been some where I'm like, that's it. No, that needed an extra 10 minutes, and then there's some where, like, as Tony said, where you're like, that's nice. I like that. So no, I actually quite like movies that leave it open to interpretation, especially good horror movies, or thrillers. Got the element. There's Edward Nito sends in a very generous super chat of $20. It says, "Hi D&T. If you guys were battling each other in Battle of the Bands, what would be the name of your band?" Oh, Tony would destroy me because I'm not. Also, who would you choose to play bass, guitar, and drums? Your choices are slasher villains from all of cinema.
Can they play?
Can they play? All right. Well, I'd put Freddie's got to sing because he can
speak.
He can speak. I'd put Michael on bass, Jason on drums. And Ghostface as lead guitarist. I don't know.
Well, Ghostface can also speak too.
Oh, that's true.
So
you could have
Ghostface also as the backup vocals. You know what I mean? Like,
backup vocals, yes.
To Freddie, especially in the chorus and things like that.
That's right. Yeah. You never know. Yeah. And then Battle of the Bands. I'm not into a lot of bands, so I don't really know. Tony would.
You were battling each other, battle those bands. What would be the name of your bands?
Oh, I see. Okay. I see what he's asking. I thought he was asking us to name a bunch of bands. The name of my bands?
I call mine the Slashers.
The Slashers?
So, like,
I'd call mine Call mine, I don't know, Big Willies. No.
There you go.
Big Willies and the Slashers. No, that's the name of the band. Big Willies and the Slashers.
And the Slashers. There you go. There you go.
Anthony T sends in $2. Says you skipped my super chat. I think I got it, Anthony.
We got it now.
Yeah, I think I did. My apologies. But I got it. I did get it. A couple more came in, but let's get a few non-ones here.
You got like 4 more that came in. So
Simon Mills says, what was your favorite Christmas toys when you were a kid? Mine was Bruce Wayne. You could change him into Batman. I got to go with He-Man. He-Man toys.
Yeah, the He-Man thing, that was huge in the 80s. I remember getting Castle Grayskull and Skull Mountain.
Snake Mountain.
Snake Mountain, Skull Mountain.
Yeah. It's all right. Hand in your He-Man card
right now. Well, I wasn't really like, I know I got that stuff for Christmas, but like, I don't remember being a super fan of it.
I get you.
I know my parents got that for me when we were little.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to think of like where I could appreciate it and understand it was something I asked for and I got.
Right. Me, it's definitely the He-Man shit. I'll never forget when I woke up and I had Castle Grayskull. It's fucking great. I actually might even be able to bring it while you're thinking. I wonder if I can quickly bring up that photo. I have a photo on my computer. I might not be able to bring it up as quickly as I think I
don't know. It's funny because now, the older I get, when I reflect back on Christmas, I don't really reflect back so much on the gifts that I got. It's more so the time that I spent with my family, my cousins and my grandparents, and just the dinners and hanging out. And, that's the stuff I tend to think about more, especially because now we're all older. We're all living all over the country. We don't really see each other as much anymore. So I don't really think about the gifts I got. It's more just the time I was able to spend, and fortunate enough, because I know a lot of people don't get that type of, like my father's side of the family, the Italian side,
right,
where it's that traditional Italian family. Everybody's getting together. You're in a house of like 50 people. You're eating five course meals, and and so you don't think about it like that when you're a kid. You almost take it for granted because you almost think like it's just normal. Right. And then when you realize as you get older, there's a lot of people I know who didn't get to experience that shit growing up. So it's like,
as Garfield says in the Garfield Christmas special, it's not the giving, it's not the getting, it's the loving.
That's it. It really is.
I found the photo. So here is me in 1980, I don't know, 4 or whatever. You'll see it pop up in a second.
Probably the same thing I got. Because we're both getting the same type of gifts because it was the thing. I do remember a couple of Transformers too I got as well.
Did you see it there?
I'm waiting. There's a bit of delay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So give it a minute.
Yep. It's
there. It is.
There it is.
Same thing. I probably have a picture somewhere that my parents took of. Yeah, that's Castle Grayskull. Yep,
that's it. Now, this photo has got to be like, I don't know, 1984,
so
something like that.
5.
I'm probably like 5 here. Whatever it is. Look at my hair. Blonde curls
going, man.
Yeah, there it is. That's it, baby. I have the power. Look at me. I'm a stud. I'm a fucking stud.
Man, that brings that Castle Grayskull brings back memories, man.
That's it. Yep. Look at that stud. Anyway, let me get rid of that now. But yeah, fucking loved He-Man as a kid growing up. Okay, the super chats here are Chad Powers, $2 says, Scream 2 anniversary is today. Released the 12th. I didn't know it was today. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. So 1, 2, 3. So exactly 25 years ago today. Movie Chat and More Part 2 sends in £2. Says, Dave, please give us an Amityville Get Out. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know like get out. Is it something like that or whatever? Or, I don't know what you want me to do.
I'll give you South Central version of it. Get the fuck out.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
No, that's
there
more
it is.
like New York. That's
There it
more like
is.
New York.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. That's more New York.
It's more of yeah.
out. Fuck out.
It's something like get out or something.
Which is the irony
something
is
like
Amity
that.
is in New York.
It is. It is. Yes, it is. Muhammad Classic Cinema Fan sends in 25 Arab Emirates shekels and says, Dave and Tony, how would you guys rank Goodfellas, The Godfather, The Godfather 2, Scarface, and thoughts on each? Sorry if that's a tough one. It is a tough one because I haven't seen the Godfather movies in years. And so I don't know how I would rank that. I like them all equally, but for different reasons.
Sure. I'd probably go Godfather, Godfather 2, Scarface, Goodfellas. And it's not saying one's better than the other. I do watch The Godfather and Godfather 2 yearly. That's usually my New Year's Eve and New Year's Day tradition. I've been doing that since I was a fucking kid.
Right.
I always get a text from my father now. You doing The Godfather? Yep.
Right.
Good man. But I love Goodfellas and I love Scarface. They're all great movies, but consistently I do watch The Godfather 1 and 2. And like those two movies too are also very heavily quoted by my family, especially my father's family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always hearing, like my dad, like, cause I have my aunt Christine, his sister, and her husband's name is Vinny. So like they would bust before they got married. I always remember that like my dad and my uncle Jim would be busting balls at the dinner table. Like, hey, Christine, go show Vinny the tree. You know what I mean? Like pulling lines out from The Godfather.
Go show Vinny the tree.
Go show Vinny the tree. Like
go
shit
show
like
Vinny
that.
The tree.
So like it's literally that's what it sounded like. So it's like The Godfather has a bit more sentiment, but they're iconic movies. It's not. I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just, it's
hard. It's hard for me to pick. It's hard for me to pick, and I'm not sure. I mean, like you said, they're all great films. Like they are.
Yep. They're all great in their own way.
Yeah. For sure.
De Niro and Pacino are pretty much attached to almost all four of them.
They are. Well, almost. No, they are because De
Niro's attached to 2, Godfather 2.
2, yep. Goodfellas. And Pacino is 1 and Scarface. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, fascinating. Yeah. Matthew Ferreira sends in $1.99, says, I like Ambiguity when it's worked for the narrative. Yeah, no, it's gotta work, right? It's gotta work. And it has to be an ending that, like, when it works well because it's in the writing, right? It's all in the writing. There are some times you'll watch movies where it just ends and it just feels like it's too abrupt, like they didn't know how to end it, so they just kind of cut to black here. But when it's woven into the narrative and it's the ambiguity is properly motivated and it's intentional, it can be very effective. You know what I mean? Leaving it up to the audience's interpretation. There's lots of great movies that do it really well. Movie Chat More Part 2 sends in £5. Thank you, Richard. Says, considering Billy 2 is set on the same night as Billy, what will happen if you don't get snow? Looking forward to buying a perk. Thanks, Richard. We've thought about all this, don't worry, but I can't say anything because it would kind of give some stuff away that we don't want to give away yet. So,
there you go.
But I'll just say that.
I'm loving it.
I'm fucking it. No.
That's what she said.
That's a Tony Michael joke right there. That's what that is.
Later tonight.
Oh! Ba-dum-bum ching. Ba-dum-bum ching. Okay, I think I've got all.
I'm looking for like another
Yeah. Let's get a few of those.
Chat. Yeah.
It's a nice community we have here. Amazing folks. David Irwin says, Tony Michael, have you ever heard of the 60s actress Lin Sue Moon from 55 Days of Pecking? And To Stir with Love?
No.
She just disappeared off the face of the Jeez, I need my glasses. She just disappeared off the face of the planet, and it got no media attention. Yeah, you saw that.
Never heard of her.
I've never heard of her either.
No.
Fascinating.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that.
sometimes those missing, like when people go missing, you know, it's fucking creepy. Like that Mara Murray thing. You know, I don't want to get into a huge thing right now. So you know what I'm talking about. The Mara Murray, that's fucking weird.
That's weird.
It's weird. But you know what? If you apply Occam's razor, it probably is more simpler than we think.
Yeah.
I mean, what does logic tell us?
Yeah.
Logic tells us that somebody probably picked her up, you know, and did harm to her. I mean, really, like it's not like she just dematerialized, but it's so, there's so many different, like,
usually when it's like involving missing persons or somebody disappearing, there's like you said, there's more logic to it. It's something bad happened. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that we live in that type of world where shit like that happens. Cause I mean, just think about it. You're born into this world, you're living your life. You don't know how it's going to end. And then when you come to the realization, like that's the way your life is going to end because some idiot's going to fucking do something to me and take me. And like, this is how I'm going to die. Like,
that's it.
It's just fucked up.
That's it. It is. And if you guys have not heard of Mara Murray, just do a YouTube search on her and watch.
Check it out.
She's still missing. She's been missing since February something or other, 2004. She was like 21 now, or then she'd be like 40 now. Yeah. There's a lot of different like rabbit holes and it's like a fucking movie. Like and I think that's what largely gets people attached is that there are so many rabbit holes. There are so many characters, you know, there are so many scenarios and situations. Why, you know, because she was driving up north. Why was she driving up there? Nobody knew. You know what I mean? She sent an email to her professor in college saying that there was a death in the family and she was going to take time off when there was no death in the family, you know, and then she drives up north and then she gets into this little, you know, she hits a snowbank on this rural road and a bus driver sees her, asks if she wants help. She says, no. He goes down the street, calls the police show up and she's gone and nobody's ever seen her ever again. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, and nobody ever saw a car, you know, drive by, you know, the neighbors were watching. Like it's all this thing. And they, you know, went into the bushes and they never found her. They never found remains and never found, you know, it's literally like this, like, you know, an alien went, you know, and picked her up or whatever. Obviously, logic would tell us, okay, she must have got picked up. Or the bus driver must have done something and he's lying. And he's dead now, so fuck, you can't even, you know. But there's just so many things like those. Sometimes those missing persons are eerie, just very eerie and creepy, you know?
Yep.
It's creepy stuff. Super chat for Movie Chat More, £5, says, what are your guys' 3 desert island Christmas movies? Mine are Christmas Vacation, Trapped in Paradise, and probably Scrooged. Mine would be, I got to go Christmas Vacation, I got to go One Magic Christmas, and I got to go maybe Trading Places.
Mine would be Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and Die Hard.
But
it's not a Christmas. Oh, I don't care. It's a Christmas movie for me. I watch it every December 25th.
Of course, like I look. If it's a Christmas movie to you, it's a fucking Christmas movie. That's all that matters. It's all that matters.
Those are the 3 I don't think I could live without seeing: Vacation, Home Alone, and Die Hard. Yeah. Although I was thinking a Christmas Carol because I do like the George C. Scott Christmas Carol movie a lot. That's one of my go-tos every year. Once it gets closer to Christmas, I've grown to like It's a Wonderful Life. The older I get, I will say I do appreciate it more. I didn't really like, not that I hated the movie growing up as a kid, it was just overplayed as a kid.
Right.
You know, kind of like A Christmas Story has been overplayed for decades. God.
Didn't TBS like do like a marathon where it was like
every year,
like every like it's all day, every day.
That it became the new It's a Wonderful Life because that's what, when we were kids, It's a Wonderful Life was basically played on every channel, every language. And you just, now that I'm older, I do appreciate It's a Wonderful Life. It is a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, but I do like George C. Scott. I think George C. Scott is the best Ebenezer Scrooge. I do like his performance the best. And I know that was a made for TV movie. And it's a well-made, you know, Christmas Carol.
Dude, there's 2, speaking of George C. Scott, there's 2 George C. Scott movies we got to watch on here. The first one is
3.
Yes. Fuck yes. Legion. Yep. Holy fuck. George C. Scott. He's on fire in that movie. I love when he's like,
I'm down. I'm down for Exorcist 3.
That's a great film. That's a great
And what's
film.
the other one? Patton?
No, The Changeling from the early 80s. It's a haunted house ghost story.
I know, I haven't watched that in a long
That's
time.
a great movie, dude.
Yeah,
Would you guys like that? The Changeling, not the Angelina Jolie one.
Not the Angelina Jolie one.
That's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. That's a great film. But we're talking about the early 80s one with George C. Scott called The Changeling, and Legion as well, The Exorcist 3. Would you guys be open to that? I think that'd be cool. Those are two good movies for maybe the new year or something.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
You can do a poll.
I should do a poll.
Vote which one.
Vote which I think The Exorcist would. I bet you Legion would probably win because I think people are probably more familiar with that one.
Sure.
But
and then the comment section would be like, "No, I want Halloween. H2O. Rob Zombies."
No. I'm gonna do a poll, and the poll is going to be, what's the next movie Tony and I should watch? And the options are The Exorcist 3, The Changeling. And Halloween. And we'll see who wins.
Even though we just watched Halloween
we
5 weeks
literally
ago.
just watched Halloween 5 weeks ago, and Halloween
would win. You should do that you should just do it for the fun of it.
Well, now that I'm saying it, and we got like 145 people that are watching, they're not going to vote for it now because they're going to know we're actually trying to test them. We're just playing with you guys. We love you guys. I'd probably pick it too. Good night, everybody. I'll be here all week. No, I wouldn't pick it. But we're just having fun. We're just having fun. We love Halloween.
We do.
Lord Brain says, "What's up, Dave? When filming It's Me, Billy 2, will you do a behind the scenes live the way Cecil did when you were in Arizona?" Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We did go live, like one of our executive producers, Nightly Guillermo, who was also a big contributor to Dylan's New Nightmare and Never Hike in the Snow, actually. Love Nightly. He's a I think he, well, yeah, we had him on.
We had him on.
Two Dudes, yeah. Great guy. I think he's like 19 now or something like that. He wants to go to film school.
Something like that.
Him and his dad are so nice. I met both him and his father on the set of Dylan's New Nightmare.
Our little boys get so big.
Yeah, that's right. But him and his dad are so sweet. I met them both on the set of Dylan's New Nightmare. And so Nightly, he became...
because really, when you think about it, he was like 15 years old, like when he started watching us.
I think so. Something like that. Yeah, because he's like 18 or 19 now. Yeah. Maybe he's 20. He's in and around there. My apologies, Nightly. So he became an executive producer on It's Me, Billy 2, and which is the top tier. And one of the perks to becoming an executive producer is that you had or have an open invitation to visit the set. Now, obviously, you have to take care of flight and accommodations and things like that. But if you can make your way there, you can visit the set. And you can hang out, and food is taken care of, and you can hang out as many days as you want. And watch the process being made. And that's what happened, of course, with Never Hike in the Snow and Dylan's New Nightmare. And
you couldn't have done that during It's Me, Billy because of
that's
COVID.
Right. I was just getting to that. So so what we decided to do instead was, if you, and he completely understood. And so we actually put a picture of Nightly in It's Me, Billy. So when Sam walks to the fireplace mantle and picks up the picture of her grandmother, if you look to her right, there's two photos that are sitting on the fireplace mantle. And one is a picture of my mom and dad. One is my mom and dad. And the other one is Nightly Guillermo. And he's right there. I think he's in the gold frame. And also what we did is we set up a Zoom call with Nightly while I think we broke for lunch or dinner, and I hooked up with Nightly on Zoom, and I gave him an entire tour of the set while we were shooting, and he met everybody and the cast and the crew, and I think we were on the line for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we were just showing him things and props and certain things, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. It's the best we could do because of COVID, because the borders were closed, right? So he couldn't come up, and because it was a closed set too because of COVID as well. So
Yeah,
right. So we wanted to do something, you know, and that's the best that we could do under the circumstances. But with Dylan's New Nightmare, which is really cool because he was a big contributor for that too a few years ago. Of course, the borders are open now. So my first day there, I walked into, I think it's called Sun Studios, I think, in Phoenix. I walked in and Cecil said, Knightley and his dad are here and they want to meet you. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. That's great. So I walked over and I met them both and, you know, gave them both a hug and really, really nice people, like just super supportive, super nice. You know, like the world needs more nice people. You know what I mean? Like it yeah, like it felt so great just to talk with them and to talk about, you know, Dylan's New Nightmare and Freddie and It's Me, Billy, and just hang out for a bit. You know, it was so great. So, so the question, excuse me, getting back to the question. Oh shit, I think I lost. No, there it is. Will you do a behind the scenes thing? So yeah, yes, we may do that. We didn't do it before because there wasn't time to do it before. There wasn't time at all. So this time there might be some time. And if there is, we may do a live from the set, but depending on, like, again, when Cecil went live, we weren't, like, it was the night before, right? So it's not like you were live from the set and you were seeing stuff. It was just us hanging out on the couch. So maybe you'll get something like that, maybe, but I can't make any promises. But we'll see. And thank you for the question. I really appreciate it. Are people saying, just looking to see if people are saying anything about Legion and the,
you got another super chat.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right. Movie Chat More Part 2. Richard sends in £5. Thanks, Richard. Says, for the love of all that's holy, please watch Dead End with Ray Weiss and Lin Shaye. I'm begging you guys. It's a Christmas horror comedy. Well, we'll have to check it out. We'll have to watch it first, check it out, or watch a trailer, see if it interests us, you know, and then maybe, just maybe we might. We might, Richard, but we can't make any promises. We cannot take requests. Now, if the request is something that we're already going to do, then it's great. But if we start taking requests, it's not going to stop. And then we might have to watch movies we don't really want to watch. And then we're not going to be into it. And then you guys aren't going to be into it because we're not into it. And then the show's going to suffer. And then the channel will get shut down. And then the world will explode. And then cats and dogs will start raining down. And blood will start flowing in the rivers and the oceans. It's a whole fucking thing, Richard. It really is. You know what I'm saying?
It really is.
It really is. But I've never heard of this movie, so I will definitely check out a trailer for it, for sure.
There you go.
Cody says he hasn't even seen The Changeling. Oh, no, he hasn't seen The Changeling in years either. The Changeling's a great movie. I just remember
it's been a minute since I've even seen it too.
Yeah. I remember that ball that bounces down the stairs. You know, I remember that. And it's a very effective horror film. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Changeling, I think, was it 1980, 81, somewhere around there, George C. Scott? It's really good. It's really good. Okay, what's the time here? You okay? Well, you want to go to 8:30 maybe, or it's just
a couple more minutes? Yeah,
10 more minutes.
Get going.
All right, we'll go to 8:30. I think I've got all the super chats so far, if I'm not mistaken.
You did.
I think so. So another 5-7 minutes, folks, and then we'll wrap it up here on this all Q&A. We decided to do an all Q&A today just to hang out and chill and relax. You know, that holiday feel starting to seep in, and you know, we just wanted to be cash today. So hopefully you all have enjoyed the show. You're all amazing. Warren Armour says, I love Dave as that Italian guy with the toothpick back when he first started back. Oh, on YouTube. Oh, yes. Those are probably still on my channel somewhere. Yeah, you're thinking of D Vinny. That was like from 2014, 2015. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny that, geez, you've been watching a long time, Warren. You've been watching a long time. Let's see here. Tom Atkins ass. Tom Atkins ass says, Dave, do you want Exorcist 3 to be canon to the new Exorcist trilogy? it's great, and it's written and directed by the original author. I know that. I know. I've seen it. It's a fantastic film. I don't think it is, though.
No, they're going directly from the first.
Even like really, even Legion really isn't a direct like.
No, Legion. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
But it isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
It is obviously. They talk about the events of what happened. And
Right.
obviously you do see Dimmy does show up.
Yeah.
As a figment of his imagination. I don't know if he was real. I mean, because don't forget,
Brad Dourif.
Also Brad Dourif.
It's fucking Chucky.
Fucking Chucky.
And I think there's a Child's Play nod in that movie. Because
was Child's Play out at that time?
Yes, because Legion, I think, was 1990. Child's Play was 88 or whatever.
88. Okay.
And I remember Brad Dourif. He's it's after he's done one of his monologues, and he's kind of like leaning to the right, and he says something like, "It's just Child's Play." It's what he says. He literally says the words Child's Play. And then there's a hard cut to the hospital, and it hard cuts from him saying, "It's just Child's Play." Cut to a little redheaded kid with freckles.
Right?
Come on!
That's totally on the nose.
You cannot tell me that is not... You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that. That is totally... I actually might be, you know what? If you give me just 2 seconds, because I posted that shit to Twitter. Let me just Google Dave McRae, Twitter, Child's Play.
Dimmy.
Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to, shit. Let me scroll down. I'm going to scroll. It wasn't that long ago. So just give me a second here. I'm scrolling. There's all the Freddy stuff. Okay, yeah, Freddy. Yes. Here it is. I got it. Okay, so I'm going to move it to the other screen. Oh, shit. I got to go way over here. Hang on a sec, guys. One second here. Just give me a sec. Give me a second. Dimmy.
Dimmy, why, Dimmy, why?
Whatever you do.
Dimmy, why?
Dimmy, why?
Why you do this, Dimmy?
Why you do this? Okay, one second. Let me just, shit, hang on. Let me just open this up here. It's off my Twitter, so just give me a second here. Almost ready. And I wasn't prepared. So, okay. All right. So I'm going to move us over to the other screen, the screen that we're usually on when we watch the paranormal stuff. And okay. So I'm just going to turn this up here and you'll hear it. 1 second.
Child's Play. Father, morning, please.
Wait. Oh, wait. Hang on. No, hang on a sec. Watch.
Child's Play.
Why is it stuttering like that? You're not seeing the kid. That's weird. It's supposed to, hang on a sec. It's supposed to go from that. Oh, weird. It's actually messing up. It's not, damn it. It's not showing. See how it, damn it. You're not seeing it. What the fuck happened? All that work for nothing. Damn it. After he says Child's Play Lieutenant, it literally cuts to the kid. But here you're seeing it cut to
it's cutting to George.
It's cutting to George. And but look, when I go like this,
I do see like what you're talking about. Yeah.
The video has screwed up, and I don't know why because that's the kid.
That's definitely a nod to Chucky.
100% is. Maybe I can bring it up. I know. I'm going way too far into this, but anyway, it's fuck. Damn it. That sucks. Well, I mean, you guys can figure it out. Yeah, you guys can check it out. But no, I don't know why it did that. That's so weird. I wonder if I can hang on a sec. Give me a second.
Jimmy's fucking it up.
He is. It's Laura Burns. It's Laura Burns. It's Laura Burns. It totally is.
Laura.
It's fucking Laura Burns, man. I'm telling you, it's Laura Burns. I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, no, I'm gonna fucking find it. And I don't think it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to find it. God damn it. Maybe it's further along here. It's after this. Might be after this. Nah. Oh, wait. I think it's after this. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to move it over here. I just actually found the movie online. So give me just a second here. This is like, sorry about this, Tony. I'm just like, no, I'm fucking finding this shit. Fuck you. Goddamn son of a bitch.
Hurry up, I gotta pee.
All right. Okay. Oh, fuck. Hang on. Why is it doing that? Okay, 1 second.
Oh, you know what? You know what movie I think it's coming out in 2 films next year. And it's done in French and it looks really good. Is Three Musketeers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like it's being true to like the origin where they're from. They're going to be speaking in French with English subtitles. That shit looks really good. It's split into 2, I think. The first one is coming out in April called D'Artagnan, and the second one that comes out in December is called My Lady.
Nice.
I think that's how they're doing it.
Very cool. Okay, here it is.
Child's play, Lieutenant. Father, morning, please.
Look at that. You see that?
I can't read this.
Corner.
I'll see it in a minute.
You'll see it in a
Delay.
minute. You'll see it in a minute. The audience saw it. The viewers saw it. You'll see it in a second. Now I'll go back to the other screen because I don't want to start doing that over and over again. It's too difficult. Let me know when you see it.
There we go. It's playing now.
Okay.
Boom. There's the kid.
See what I mean?
Boom. There's George. Yeah.
Totally
a nod to Chucky.
He says it's child's play, Lieutenant. Hard cut to a redheaded kid with freckles. Come on.
2 on the nose.
Come on. It's on the nose. All right. I know I wasted everybody's time there for like 5 minutes. We'll answer like one more question here and then we'll skedaddle.
Yes. My bladder's yelling at me.
All right. Let's see if I can grab somebody that we haven't got yet. Is it Vive la France? Vive la France? La France?
Vive la France.
Vive la France? Vive la France? If we're talking Christmas masterpiece, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. See, I don't think of Eyes Wide Shut as a Christmas movie, but it depends on what a Christmas movie is to you. Do you?
However, I think of The Shining as a Christmas movie because it's got snow.
That's the litmus test. Doesn't take place at Christmas, but it has snow.
It has snow. That's all I need.
That's all you need. That's literally all you need. That's it. That's it. No, that's it. That's it.
That's it.
Mad Mars sends in a super chat right at the buzzer. $2 says, you had the Exorcist 3 director's cut version. You had the Exorcist 3 director cut version at first.
No, there was a glitch. It was there. It was just glitching.
Was a glitch. No, there was a glitch, Mad Mars, because what I showed you was a tweet from me. I actually tweeted it out on my Twitter page, and for whatever reason, the video was glitching.
Glitch in the Matrix.
It was a glitch in the Matrix. All right, that is going to do it for Tony and I here on episode 174 and all Q&A, just sitting back, relaxing, shooting the shit, cash. This was a fun show. It's always nice to do one of these shows every now and then, once in a while, making it an all Q&A show rather than just kind of waiting until the last hour or so. I want to thank our great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Shore, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, Cody Snyder, Andrew Stevens. Thank you very much for doing what you guys do. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the Super Chat questions that came in today, of course, those non-Super Chat questions as well. And Tony, any last things you want to say?
I gotta pee.
He's gotta pee. He's gotta pee, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna do it for us. Have a great rest of your week, and Tony and I will see you next week, Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 175. Have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week, and Tony and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.